I just had dinner and now I'm here to meet a couple of people just to have a couple of drinks. Look at the Christmas tree behind me. Oh, and the backdrop of the mountains. Austria is unbelievably pretty.
Wo warst du gestern? Achso, du bist erst heute gekommen, gell?
Gestern.
Achso, gestern bist du
Wir
gekommen.
haben uns schon gesehen. Du warst baden.
Haben wir uns gestern gesehen?
Ja.
Wirklich?
Ah.
Du warst nicht, oder? Gestern.
Na, auf Weihnachtsfeier war ich nicht. Ich war müde von
Warst du
Paris.
müde?
Ja. Bonjour! My body is back to Austria, but my heart is still in Paris! Paris! Oh, the best city that I have ever visited. A toast to you for clicking play. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, head on over there. The link to the channel is right here on my Instagram. Now let's get into it. So, apart from the obvious, shopping, apart from shopping and just eating out and going out to like the local bars and restaurants and clubs, actually one very nice memory I have of Paris is this particular day when I sent the concierge that was assigned to me. I sent him back to the villa to just take my shopping to my room.
If you're reading this now, odds are I've already left town. A few cities in between, the new skyline where I'm looking down. A few empties on the floor and a note on the door of your house. This silence reminds me of what's left behind me for now. There's a broken down car parked outside the barn up the road, and a weather vane hanging all crooked from the rain and the snow. I'm a half-mile past where we ran out of gas years ago.
Wow.
So I'm taking my time and I'm gonna drive by it once more. Can't you see there's a new life waiting, and I just don't want this feeling to go. If you're reading this now, please remember the good times we had. Don't forget about the moments we tried, we cried, or we laughed.
And then I sat at a local restaurant to have brunch, and after brunch I had some wine. This sticks out to me because I had the best feeling there. I'm not sure what exactly was happening to me. I just remember when I sat at this restaurant, it's like a cafe and restaurant. I just remember feeling very peaceful. There was like a special feeling of like health, wealth, well-being, just sitting there feeling very grateful to God and at peace, watching people as they had their meal. I also had something to eat and then I ordered some wine. At this point, I had already sent the concierge away to the villa with my shopping because I didn't want to carry it. And I just sat here for a drink, for some food and a drink. And I don't know, there's just something about this particular feeling. I haven't felt that way in a long time. And mind you, I was sitting there alone. So it wasn't like thanks to someone else, but there was just like this fulfillment, gratefulness for a few minutes there because I sat there for almost an hour and then I was ready to go back to the villa. But something happened to me in this restaurant. It was just like I was just at peace. Any worries, any, like second guessing, nothing. There was nothing. I was like a child in this moment. I don't know, I can't explain it. Maybe you've had moments like that in your life, but I'll never forget how I felt sitting at this cafe in Paris, France. Just sitting there, having my wine, having the waiters check up on me and go like, "Ça va?" and just like smile, watching the people, how they were interacting with one another, listening to the beautiful French language. There's just something about this day that I can't put in words. It was a moment in time. I think it's one of those moments in time that I will always remember, that I just sat in that cafe waiting for my food. After food, I ordered a glass of wine and I just sat there. My concierge left with my stuff, and then if you want to watch the full video of my travel to Paris, you can just head on over to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. And now I want to tell you something really funny that happened. You know what? Let me keep it all the way real. I think I have lived with German speakers for too long now. Let me explain. So there are countries such as Germany. I've been to Germany. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know about my stay in Germany, visiting Germany, Munich, and the Bavaria area. And, there are German speakers there, obviously. And the Swiss people, I interact with them a lot because of my work. And I know that they speak German, but it sounds different. It's a different accent, different dialect, but there's a part of Switzerland where they speak the German language. And of course, right here in Austria. Now, out of these three, the people who have the most, sorry, I don't have equipment. My phone just fell. Sorry, I don't have professional equipment. I just record from my phone. I need to invest in equipment. My phone just went boom. The people who have the most personality out of these three, Germans, Swiss, and Austrians, are actually the Austrians. The Austrians are the ones who will small talk, who will laugh at your jokes. At least with Austrians, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people on the internet are concerned, there is some personality there. Germans and the Swiss people can be very serious, so to speak. It's not necessarily being rude. It's just being very proper, technical, mechanical. Don't get me wrong, Austrians, a lot of them are also like that, but at least there's like a little bit of a fun touch to Austrians, because Austria is still very, reserved. They're not very complicated people. Germans can be very mechanical, like a box, like everything has to fit inside that box, no flexibility. They can't be spontaneous. It's like, are you crazy? You're asking me to do something without a plan. They lose their mind, right? So, I have to be honest with you, they've influenced my character. I noticed that how do I put this? I am losing a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of my sense of humor or like playfulness. Even though I'm trying my best to always remind myself that I'm not from here originally, even though I have a place in Austria, I'm a Kenyan. I'm originally from Kenya. We are silly, we are happy, we are jumping, hop, skip, and jump. We are playful, we make jokes, we pick on one another, we laugh out loud. I don't want to lose that side of me. I don't want to be quote-unquote white or quote-unquote German, So I'm hoping that I don't lose that warmth and that Africanness, what we call Ubuntu. But while I was in France, I noticed that the French people can be a little bit like the Spanish, because I've been to Barcelona, and the Greece, and they can be a little bit that Mediterranean feel, where they're still playful, they're still laughing out loud, they're still saying silly things, they're still making jokes that out here would be considered, by out here I mean German-speaking countries, jokes that would be considered too much or offensive, where people are a little bit more serious and just like I described it, technical. So I noticed that I've missed that. I've missed that side of me because the French people were making jokes that out here would be considered offensive, or like, why are you being like that? Was sagst du jetzt? Na bitte nein. You know, a little bit. And I say that with love. Of course, I love living in Austria. Of course, there's a lot of pros here. So I say that respectfully and with love. But anybody who's lived with German speakers will understand what I mean when I say a box. You know, lack of spontaneity and flexibility. So something happened at the airport where I thought, oh my gosh, I have to be careful not to lose myself, not to lose my, laughter, because for a minute there, I was very serious and I was almost, being a Karen. And then I realized, calm down, Elizabeth, you're a Kenyan. You don't get that, quickly offended. So what happened is that I was careless for a second there. I got distracted by the customs people. They asked me to go and weigh my bag because I had shopped a lot. I'm regretting a little bit because my bank account is looking a type of way. I just went on a shopping spree, which was not very wise of me. And I was only allowed one luggage, but now I was flying back to Vienna with like 3 luggages. So they looked at me and they was like, Madame, they said something in French. I was like, I don't speak French. And they were like, in English, did you pay for an extra bag or do you need to check that in? So because I was like, no, I'm taking it to the plane. And I also had like 2 other bags. And they were like, that's more than 12 kilos. We need to weigh it. So they weighed it on the side and they found that I have to pay 80 euros. Who is paying 80 euros? 80 euros is like over 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Honey, that feeds a family of 4 in Nairobi for a month. I'm not feeding a family of 4 for a month. Why? So I was like, no, what do you mean I need to pay 80 euros? Yeah, madam, because you only are allowed this one bag and you have over 12 kilos. There's no point in arguing with airport people. They always win, okay? So don't argue with them. So I was like, what can I do? They were like, you can wear some of the stuff that you bought. Let me tell you something. I looked like a fat sausage because I took the first coat, the second coat, the third coat. I took a trouser. I took a skirt. Like, I looked hella ridiculous. And then it fit. And I was like, I didn't have to pay the 80 euro. So there I was like a sausage just walking towards the queue where I can now go through security because I had self-checked on my phone. And as I was walking there, I noticed, holy crap, I don't have my pass. And my pass has my passport inside of it. That's very careless of me. I had been distracted with the whole wearing clothes and having to pay 80 euros and talking with the people at customs and check-in and luggage people. So that distracted me and I lost my pass. So I just left my bag with security. I was like, could you watch that? I'm coming back. And I ran back to the place where we were talking. And I found my pass. Again, be very careful when you have your passport with you. You do not want to lose your passport while you're traveling. That was very, very, very stupid and careless of me. So I got it and I was happy and I was coming back like, I found my pass. I found my passport. Everything is intact. And so I came back and I found this man, a tall guy in designer glasses. Somebody, could you please find me this Parisian security man? He's a black guy who speaks French with a lot of sophistication. He works at the airport. He is a character and a half. I found them there with security eyeing my bag, waiting for me. He was like, bonjour. You know, the sexy French language. And he catwalks like you've never seen. His whole vibe, just the way he had styled himself, like his nails, his huge designer sunglasses. And mind you, he was wearing his uniform. Clearly, he worked at the airport, but just the way he styled it, the bangles, the chain, he reminded me so much of this guy from America's Next Top Model, if you remember that show. That was his whole vibe. Naomi Campbell, who? That man? Like, you know, a fashionista, and he works at the airport, but like designer glasses inside when it's winter. Like, boy, you're doing too much, but you look fabulous. He looked fabulous. He looked like one of those guys, the judges you see like on TV shows. He looked like a character, a moment in time. So he stopped me and he was like, bonjour and something in French. I was like, I don't speak French. And he was like, English, yes. So take your bomb and go detonate it somewhere else. This is why I'm saying I think I lived with German speakers for way too long, because I was like shocked. I was like, excuse me, I don't have a bomb. Yes, that's what they all say. He told me.
Oh, snap.
I was like, I left my bag with the security guard because I had lost my passport and I needed to just run a few minutes to go and... Shorty? He said to me, shorty, because I'm short. He was giving me the go argue with your ancestors look like. And he's a tall guy. Somebody find me that man. He is full of life. And then I stopped myself and thought, why am I almost getting angry? Because he told me I have a bomb in my bag. I can go and detonate it somewhere else. Do not leave your bag unattended in airports. And he called me short. And I'm like, as a Kenyan, we would never get offended by that. We would laugh out loud because the guy is zesty. He had his designer glasses. If I had come straight from Kenya, I would laugh at him telling me, take your little bomb and go detonate it somewhere else. I would laugh. But now I've lived with German speakers for too long that everything is so serious. I was like, excuse me? I don't have a bomb. And he was like, yes, that's what they all say. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry for leaving my bag here. Next time, I'll be sure to take it with me. And he was like, bon voyage. Bon voyage, just let me have my bag. Bon voyage. And I went to the security check-in. That was quite a moment in time. I need to get my humor back, because for a moment there was like, how dare him tell me that? I'm a serious lady who is very seriously getting on a plane. That's not me. That's not Kenyans. That's like the German speakers, their culture of like taking offense in certain jokes. Like they have a very different sense of humor. I'm not saying they don't have a sense of humor. It's just very different. That's like their culture rubbing off on me. Because if you tell a German-speaking woman, whether she's from Austria or Germany or Switzerland, hey, take your bomb and go detonate it somewhere else. Don't leave your bag here. Or like she tried to defend herself and you said, hey, shorty, I'm still talking. Like you're calling her short. Oh, ich schreibe eine Beschwerde. Like that's German for I have to write a complaint. Let me talk to the manager. Like they take offense very quickly. It's a different kind of humor what they have. So I think that was me having been influenced by these people who I live around, right? I live in Austria, so I'm around German speakers every day because I was getting serious. I was also almost writing a complaint. Like, how dare you tell me that? And then the Kenyan in me was like, chill, girl, chill. Look at him. Does it look like he's serious? He has his designer glasses in winter inside the airport. He has like all this. He's very stylish. You're in a different country. You're in France, right? They probably still have that risque humor, like a bit of a dark humor. So I just, went back to being my original self, my Kenyan self, where we don't get offended very quickly. And yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think I'm starting to lose my sense of humor, to be honest with you, just because, I live with people who are a little bit on the serious side of things and don't really make risque jokes, so to speak. We laugh, and the way he told me that's what they all say, and even the way he was like, shorty, when I tried to argue, shorty, and he's like a man towering over me, very zesty. He was like, next time, do not leave your bag unattended in an airport. And I was like, but I left it with someone, shorty. And I was almost getting offended. But then when I saw people laughing, I was like, where is your sense of humor, Elizabeth? You're a Kenyan. We laugh at things like this. And as soon as I told him, oh yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. I should not leave my bag with anybody just because he's a security guy. I mean, I just left it there like, where anybody could take it. Also, it's also not good for my security. So I'm sorry. I should take it. And he was like, bon voyage. And he was done. That guy was feisty and like fabulous and looked good. That's the way you dress to work. I mean, he had his uniform, but he had styled his uniform. He had like designer glasses. He had like jewelry. He was catwalking in the airport. Miss J, is that you? He was such a fabulous looking man. Shout out to him. If anybody knows who I'm talking about, tell him I said hi. It's the girl with the bomb at the airport. Thank you so much for watching. I just thought to share that little funny story, and I'll see you on the next video. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you know what to do. Thank you for watching. Ciao.